Leo. Look what popped out, the Emperor. Okay, my friends. This is how it's going to look. For you guys, like I just went through all the aspects and stuff. June's going to be a really great month to get busy. Get busy. Any project, that's halfway done or whatever, get on it. I will, of course, be doing astrology reads, For those of you that don't know, my calendar is open, and I know I don't have a whole lot of hours yet available, but I do have some. So you can click the scheduling link if you want to get to me again. The end of June 26th, as soon as we start approaching that area, the full moon, it's gonna start cranking up on stress. Yeah, stressful aspects. People may even get loud with you. At the end of the month, you may get loud with others. It's a challenge between what you need and what you want. And to me, looking at the chart, it kind of comes to a head at the end of June. And you may be in the mix of that because of the square. Mercury's going to be entering your sign, which means Mercury will be at the front. Mars will be at the back, squaring Uranus in Taurus, okay? So it's like the last hoorah, astrologically, before Uranus moves into Gemini. And Pluto's retrograde, which means people could be crazy. They could be just crazy, I will say that I love you guys. I do. It's tough being awesome. It's tough being awesome. For me, it's like, my Venus return, John's Venus return. So for me, it's a good time. For others, though, it may not be, and I'm sorry if you're going through something tough. You guys know that I would definitely not rub your face in it, because it's a lot like this. You don't know when you need mercy until you need mercy. And you don't know when you need grace until you need it. And then all of a sudden you start respecting it. And then you're like, oh my God. All right, so Leo. Oh, there's that Emperor again. I'm telling you, this month. Get on it. Get on it, girl. Get on it. All right, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, please, for June 2025. Show me what's going on with Leo. What's going on with Leo, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for June 2025. There we go. I feel it. All right, show me Leo energy, please. Right on. All right. Oh, silly me. Silly rabbit. There we go. I hope you can see that. I'm sorry if it's moving around. I need to do the work to stabilize that, and that hasn't been done. It's not high on my priority list yet, but it will be. It will be. Okay. Right. Ooh, Leo coming in with the 7 of Swords. There's another 7. There's an 8. Look, there's an 8. There's 2 8s. What? Okay. We have the Hermit card in the reverse on the underside of the deck. I'm going to take off my glasses because that's starting to hurt my face. Okay. Well, my, Leo. My. What's going on? What's going on? Only 3. 1, 2, 3 major arcana. which means several things to me. There's still choices to be had, right? Choices, yes. The Hermit's in the reverse on the underside of the deck, so I can definitely see that kind of retreat, go into silence for a little bit, process some things. If there are other signs attached to this, I have a Libra up here, or quite possibly a Taurus, a Virgo. Coming into the reading with the Knight of Cups in the upright. And usually the Knight of Cups is imaginative. You know, someone who's daydreaming. They're spending time in their head. This can also be a younger person than you. Someone who is, they haven't reached a bitter point with something, you know. Maybe they have and they understand some things, but it's an extension of kindness and goodwill, and it carries with it hope. You know, it's a lot like me sending my mother-in-law flowers. You catch the gist? It's kind of like, hello, mother-in-law. I send thee flowers to maintain a good, positive connection between the two of us. That's the Knight of Cups. All right, a decision that's been made where it seems that several communication challenges were going on. I feel that's kind of crazy because it's sort of like running into a wall over and over and over again, not understanding why. Someone here could have sent a message to another person and they haven't heard anything back. It's because you're blocked. You know, if you've been trying to go at a communication, there's a block issue there. I'm also hearing like a package that could have been lost, so you might want to check on your packages and your tracking, that sort of thing. But it feels like block after block after block, and a decision that has been delayed. And I can tell here that the energy around this could say, like, the longer I wait, the worse it gets. We may be highly concerned with a person that may have some health issues here. Maybe there are health issues that are sort of standing in the way. I'm also catching with the Empress in the reverse that some of the males out there might be going into a process where you get a vasectomy, something of that sort. It's challenging the ability to be able to reproduce and to be able to create, thus taking care of oneself. There's a need, and it's physical and it's real, and if we don't feed this need, it's going to starve. You know, it's going to starve. Now, the need could be, I mean, anything from the small to the large, like, oh my God, we ran out of toilet paper. And, you know, it's in the reverse. It's sort of like saying, with the Fool card here, it's sort of like saying, I don't want that kind of toilet paper in my life. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try a new one down here. So if you need to replace the word toilet paper, do it. This can also indicate hormonal changes, whether it doesn't really matter, whatever gender you choose. Yeah, hormonal changes that, how would you say, it puts a person in a position where perhaps I'm getting legacy. And there is something here about adoption I'm picking up. If any of you are watching and you're dealing with adoption, because this feels very much so like someone who's been putting in an application for becoming a foster parent or adoption or something like this, and there seems to be some sort of misunderstanding. That's maybe it's the tone of things. It could also be an issue or a problem where we're looking at providing maybe a single parent what they need to sustain. But it will double, triple back up on someone else. Like nothing's ever free, and you guys know that. There's always someone at the helm, even if you can't see them, because most of the Taurus stuff right here is underground. And that's why we use the words like growing with this, seeds. If someone is, with child, you can't visibly see it. It's behind, some skin, subcutaneous matter. So it's something here that has been growing, being exposed, or needing a new beginning because something is shallow. I just heard the words shallow. We may be dealing with a Libra or a Taurus who is shown to be shallow. Maybe they have a problem here with accepting the fact of who they are and just rolling with it. I feel a lot of self-judgment coming with this. Someone who has or had some sort of expectation here of being like a toddler and kind of getting what they wanted. And the toddler behavior of someone being underage, someone being underdeveloped, back here with the Knight of Cups in the upright, it kind of gives the impression to me that someone close to you could have hit a certain stage of development and then didn't go any farther. And now instead of thinking like I'm dealing with an adult, it's sort of like, no, I'm dealing with a 14-year-old, But there's a questioning of this. I don't know how I started channeling on this, Leo. You're going to have to tell me whether this fits or not, because I feel Lulu right now, and I don't know if the Lulu is real. So tell me if all of this fits, because I'm sort of channeling these cards over here on the left. And I'll get to the ones on the right in a second. It's just, Leo rules the development of children. The ego being developed by who is near them and who imprints upon them, who, the nurture nature sort of argument that kind of goes on. And while we're arguing over here, the clock's ticking over there. So there is an anticipation for a fresh new start, Leo. I can see that there's a whole world, a whole new world, waiting to take action on this whole new world. Someone who has been waiting to take vacations, and maybe they've spent a lot of time thinking about, woohoo, we're going to play and we're going to have fun. And this Taurus Libra person, they only kind of want to show up for the fun. And I don't know if that's right or wrong. I can just see that a Taurus Libra person, and maybe recently there may have been some invitations, like trying to invite this person. Hey, you look low. If you need a friend, let's go have a margarita and shoot some pool for a couple hours and let's let you put your hair down and feel like a divine feminine again, or whatever this is. There's an action here that could have been promised, maybe wanting, it's like delaying an action of promise. Someone who, I don't know, man, there's mistrust with this Taurus. There's some drama going on there. I don't like that. Because this, I'm just saying, if this area of your world that is starving, if you are half naked running down the road right here because you ain't got the right clothes, if you're out in the sun over here and you're exposing yourself, and this is a big old sunburn, I don't know what this is, but there seems to be a misunderstanding, someone who's double-checking, cross-checking. There's a story of pain back here, and I'm going to clarify because I can. This Wayne's World, right? It's Wayne's World. I need to clarify. There's a story back here, something painful, a discussion or a conversation that's kind of been going on. I do see between 1, 2, 3... Be careful at this time, Leo, because I kind of get this, it's an energy of pushing someone. It's pushing someone to be just like me. If you're just like me, then. So it is a projection, But it gives this helicopter parent sort of energy. And if you got to push someone off and say, get off of me, now is the time. Now is the time. As I see a painful conversation with someone who's far away from you, this could have been a very sharp conversation. And, maybe this person is saying some things now that make a little more sense than it did back then, and maybe because someone didn't question so hard. Notice that we come in as the 5 in the reverse, right? The 5 of Swords. So we're like, I've made up my mind, chucking it out the door. And then all of a sudden we get the 8 of Swords. We go from the 5 to the 8. Do you see it? A thought, something researched, a painful conversation that brings more information. And now you're supposed to be sitting in the juice. That's what it looks like to me. The 8 of Swords in the upright. Notice that this takes a step back. What? And we take a step back to the 7. And then in the outcome up here, you see the 10 of Swords. I'll put that up to the camera so you can see it. In the outcome is the 10 of Swords. So be with me like this. We stop, we're jumping along on our pogo stick. We stop, we turn around on our pogo stick. Remember that when we were kids and we watched those cartoons, right? And we see that everybody fell down. Well, you right yourself and you're like, okay, now what? If everybody fell down, all the 10 soldiers fell down, why am I on this pogo stick? And you kick it off to the curb. It's a lot like that. So anticipate a communication about that. I don't know. Okay, I need to shut up. There's a conversation with someone over here that's sort of asking, genuine ask. Are you even sure that's something you wanted to do? Are you even sure that's something you have to do? And I see that someone is asking for a guarantee. That's why the Virgo card is here. The 2 of Swords in the reverse, the 5 of Swords in the reverse. This could be an ultimatum. Like someone coming in and sort of asking for a guarantee of something. And they weren't going to get the guarantee in the first place, The other person looking at you here is sort of saying, with the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, is either I didn't ask you to come because I knew you wouldn't have the money, or I didn't invite you to come in because I knew you didn't have the contribution to give. Now, the Page of Pentacles in the reverse can also talk about time and be like, well, I didn't have that large conversation with them because I knew they weren't going to fit the bill in, but for me, it's sort of like, it's a page. It's a page. So we're not talking about like a car or a vehicle. We're talking about like a receipt. We're talking about, who's going to pick up the lunch bill. This is a page. It's quick. It's fast. Who's going to put the coins in the meter so that we can run into the mall real quick or something. Hold on, I just needed to make sure that was a wire and not a cockroach, because lordy. So the person looking at you is sort of saying, dude, I knew you wouldn't have this experience in this, or I knew that you don't know about these emails right here, because it's something physical. I knew something was not already created in there. So the person may be looking, let me see how they feel about you before I just start rambling. In fact, you know what? Screw all the rest of this crap. We're waiting for some people, it could be the 6 of Pentacles in the upright as part of the challenge. So someone may be waiting for, what's the right way to say this? Waiting for reciprocity in some way. But it could also be a gift. It could be time. It's something extra on the side. And if it is a bribe, Well, I don't know how many of you got bribed today or this week. Like, if it's a bribe, you let me know in the comments, because that's probably a really interesting story. You know what I mean? I'd be like, what? Somebody bribed you? Oh my God. But you would be too. So don't look at me like that. Don't lie. I know. You'd be like, show me that. Hey, let me look at that. I'm getting that somebody, there's a phone number. Somebody got a phone number. And somebody's looking at the phone number. And they're looking at it. They've shared it with 3 or 4 more people. Whew, these are big people too. Because I'm seeing an attorney, 2 attorneys, maybe 1 judge, a county clerk. Property record search. Driver's license. Is somebody doing a background check on someone? Leo? Feels like it. What you want to know? For some of you, this is a Rex offender. Oh, man. See, that's why I tell John, quit putting that reality show crap on the TV. But he loves it. He loves it. And now I'm all like, Jerry. You know, no, it's not Jerry. Right now he's watching Steve, where all the audience goes, Steve. You know, and I'm like, now I'm in a Leo reading where performance matters with the Leo. And I don't give a diddly dang. People all saying 100% authenticity really can't work 100% of the time. It just can't. I'm sorry. Get another job. You know. No, ain't nobody gonna go streaking on a YouTube video and think that it's gonna, unless there's areas bleeped out. I'll give you that. All right, that was enough distraction. Let me look at your person. A message not sent, an email not sent. But it also indicates someone who wouldn't have the receipt. They wouldn't have the proof. And the other person is looking at you like this. So show me Leo's person. Show me that. Now, this person may also be just basically saying, you know, I don't have 10 minutes. I really don't. You know. How does Leo's person view them, please? They're saying they might have lost the number. Ooh, they see the 2 of Swords in the reverse. Somebody's blocked. Or they're not speaking with the other one. Damn, dude. Are you kidding me? Where's my pointy stick? Okay, I need to get a professional pointy stick. I think that's going to be on my list. All right. We have a Pisces, right? But this person's hanging out, and it might be a Pisces, it might not. Just could be a person hanging out, watching a water sign hide a fire sign. No. These 2 cards are doubt. I'm going to give you that. All right. Put the cards down, Miriam. Look at me. I'm sitting up. Because it gives that wild, wild west sort of answer to something. Sorry, I'm pulling up my unders. Yeah, it's like a wild, wild west sort of thing where somebody, there's an accusation of some sort, but it looks to me like someone who is waiting. Look at how the starfish is on the moon. It's kind of romantic, isn't it? I have a full moon and then I have a, what is it? This is a waning moon. And there it is over there. It's just in a different sign. It's like in Gemini over here, and by the time we get to the new moon, pointing, staff pointing. This is like a full moon in Scorpio, Taurus. Someone didn't catch the plot. I'm pulling those down. Someone did not catch the plot. The plot. I'm hearing that. Someone not catching the plot. Time is of the essence, and I'm seeing that because it's on the divine masculine side of the leg. A choice. 2 weeks seem to be very important in this particular spread. A choice that needed to be made within 2 weeks. This person, this Pisces individual, and it just could be an individual that is waiting and hanging around for an internal change to happen with someone on the divine positive, like the light side. I'm sitting here watching this, something internal. Are you strong enough? And notice the elbow here of the hangman if you're looking at the video. The elbow of the hangman is pointing at the tattoo on the right arm of the positive principle. And let me explain just real quick, take 2 seconds. You know how they say the light and the light and the shadow parts? I would prefer us to look at it like a battery. Okay, you have a negative and a positive connector on a battery. Okay, you need both for the battery to run. So if it's upside down, like this card right here is upside down, the Two of Swords is upside down. So there's something off with one of the connectors. And it's probably on, you know, the red, the plus sign on a battery right there. Waiting for an internal change. There's time that kind of goes with this. There's a choice here that someone has been waiting to make. And man, that feels long. This is 3 years or more, this choice that's been coming. I think some of you are, this person, your person is actually almost shocked, really, that it's here. Like, holy crap, has it been 3 years? You know, it's been sort of like that. I feel that the choice has been delayed until this Page of Pentacles thing is done. Someone's been waiting to send an email. Someone's looking for a job. I picked that up. Someone has put in their resume to look for a job. They haven't been able to get one. They're widening their search. They widen their search. I can tell that they widen their search to the entire, you know, if you're, whatever country you're in, it went from a city search to a county search to a, you know, a province or state search. And now it's like global search. This person has searched because I'm seeing an airplane that's sort of flying all the way around the world. And they get back to their Chicago position or wherever they were at when they started. And it's kind of like, you know, person getting off the aircraft going, okay, how do I come at this again? You know, how do I do this again? There is performance around it. Leo, someone has asked for the other person's ability to jump in, and ability seems to be a factor. It seems for some of you this is an increase of ability. And we've been waiting a while for this to sort of happen. Oh, look at that. I could feel that. There's the Two of Cups in the upright right here. The choice that's been delayed. So your person has been waiting and waiting and waiting for this Two of Cups. I can't make this choice. Look at that Four of Lotuses that comes in. So they've waited long enough here where I have from night to day, right? The tides rolling in, rolling around those lotuses. Man, there's a lot of lotuses. Mender. They want to mend a relationship here. They prayed. It's been on their mind, their third chakra right here. They've had dreams about you, Leo. Your person has, oh, that's kind of crazy. They've sat long enough here where they've almost become part of the architecture. That's how this would say. There's something that has stopped this person from moving forward. Eight. Retro. I'm seeing the words retro. Someone who's, but retro in the way of 1960s, 1970s. It's got a vibe to it, like it's rock and roll, man. Disco, baby. But you are a Leo, so that should be normal by now. Very flashy. I have a Scorpio over here that has been trying to reach out and grab the hand of another person. One of the eggs fell out of the nest and it cracked. No, it fell into the sea. The egg gets swept away into another environment altogether. Holy crap, what is this? It's kind of poetic. The person that I'm looking, your person, Leo, has, I don't think I've had so many lily pads all around, just 1, 2, 3, one card after the other. If I count them up, that'd be nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. That's a 1. Because to me, it's sort of like everything's calm, and then all of a sudden a flood, a wash of something comes in and just topples everything. It pushes you or this other person into a completely different environment here, where someone is not able to stand up for themselves. They didn't have, they're saying that the way was, there was no light. The way that this person went down the path, there's nothing was lighting the way. It felt like they were in the dark. They had never done something like this. They didn't know which way to turn. There is a lot of passion, it's sort of like covering, not wanting to set things on fire, but the whole thing's on fire already. And we're dealing with ash. That's how they're sort of saying we're dealing with ash. Catching someone, Leo, it's kind of hitting in my throat and my heart chakra right here, that a person may have had a very long relationship with someone, like 35 to 40 year, 45 years of a long relationship. Something is sort of, it's coming out through around my tongue and my teeth and just wanting to come out. It's like a shout. It's like a shout. This person has had betrayals. No, it's a fear of betrayal. And the person I'm seeing here with this very long relationship, the fear of betrayal has chased this person down, but they haven't really studied fear. Where it comes from in the brain, how it's produced, the chemicals that are set off, the limitations that it's created, the openings and opportunities that it can create. Because, sometimes passion is a good thing. Like if you're a fighter pilot, I need you angry when you hit the button. Just hang on till I say go. It's a lot like that. This person has been groomed in a certain manner, certain environment, because on one hand it feels very Southern Belle, and then on the other hand I can see how this assumption of posh, it's the moving from generation to generation and gaining age over time, and it's this ride, up and down and up and down. And I catch that there have been words, Leo, that were spoken probably 10 or 15 years ago. And this is a sad thing for you. I can feel that you don't like where it was left. It could be a Libra or a Scorpio. And it really does give the feeling of if I were to lay down today and bare my alls, You ask me if there's something that has chased me, like a regret for many years. This is how it's like for your person, I guess. And it twists inside of them pretty hard. It would be like a regret. It's like one of those moments where miscommunication. I think that's why the first spread had the miscommunication. Like, this whole thing was miscommunicated, and that was not my intention. And like talking with a billion people going, that's not who I am. And everybody's like, yeah, we know. But it is something that this person wants to rest in peace. They want to rest it in peace. They want to, it's like let's put those seeds together in a box, and let's bury it together, and let's just all stand over it and pray over it and let that thing go, But the witnesses are necessary. Yes, but there's one single person. It's kind of strange because I'm being shown my dad's first wife, and I have a half-sister, Stephanie. She was a Gemini, June 1st. She was a Gemini. She passed away at her first Saturn return. She was 28. But yeah, that's like the face that I'm being shown. Stephanie and Jeannie and Stephanie and Jeannie. I don't know why they're showing it, but I can see it's like this person wants peace inside of themselves. They don't have it. It's very challenging, with their last breath. George Washington. Did you know that George Washington had a Leo moon? Hello. Those guys. So they haven't been able to move something, but I do have a Scorpio here that is trying to make connections. But the person that has been thinking of this and turned away and rolling through all those changes here, you understand what I'm saying? It's like a regret. They're also sort of saying, I would never do such a thing like that. They're trying to present it that way. It is kind of a haunting. We have the soulmate card in the reverse. And maybe this is someone who has transitioned already. Oh, shit. So it explains that perhaps this is what they're showing me. Early in this person's life, someone said something earlier in their life. Someone said something motivating. They said something, it seems to have given wisdom and insight. It has leadership around it, and looking at leadership and admiring them and aspiring, towards their ethics, their character, their something, and all of these things kind of going on. And it does explain that how do I say this? This person's walking back from the memory of this soulmate. They're walking back, maybe telling a story, moving something, trying to move something forward. This person who has transitioned and they're on the other side. It looks like they gave up a lot. This could also be one of your ancestors here. The sacrifices that were given. The fighting and the torment here that went on between the two of them during this exchange. Someone who's trying to protect, and this other person who was not showing loyalty, this person who is not showing consistency. And it seems to be a moment here with the Nine of Embers that kind of blows up, that someone may look at another person differently now. They're older, they've had enough time, they're looking at this person that they admired. Something happens here, and there's like shame. There's like shame. When it brings up in their memory, they look back, they walk back to the King of Cups in the reverse and the King of Wands in the reverse. This is a regret of something not done, a relationship not made, maybe a promise broken, an original intent, probably including children, that needed to be accomplished and wasn't, and the sacrifices that were made here were done to a person. Look at that. The Two of Cups is in the upright up here, right? Here's the Two of Cups at the top of the spread. And then down here, the Two of Cups is in the reverse. Look, I'm just going to tell you this, Leo. Your person, whether they like their options or not, they're going to be taken care of. Let's just say that. I do have a water sign individual here that has never had the joy or the pain of experiencing a loss, of experiencing isolation, maybe imprisonment. It goes back towards this thing of like, even though you and I share different, am I making sense or am I just rambling? Even though you and I share this sort of connection here between the two of us, I love you, you love me, that's wonderful, but if we walk it on back to kind of what happened over here, you're going to find that someone was out of line. I think your person over here, Aries, is kind of holding on to some, or I said an Aries, maybe you're dealing with an Aries. Maybe they have like an Aries rising or something like that, Leo. But I think this person, maybe they weren't there for the original thing, you know? It's like somebody on the outskirts, they're watching what's going on. I have two people who, okay, I am getting like two people who work together and they're having a conversation at work. One person is coming into work and they're just sharing everything to the other coworker and they can't get their work done, I'll be honest. Whoever I'm looking at here, I don't know if they have the bravery to speak up. It seems that either their boss or one of their old bosses here, Leo, they didn't do well emotionally if things weren't done. So there's like a pressure of how do I get this person to stop bringing me all of their bad news. There's things in the masculine world I want to get done. And for some of them, this person is planning something big and exciting. So who's interrupting the other one? That's sort of what I'm catching here. Ooh, there's a shutdown. Somebody could have been... All right, back to the thing I said earlier. Years ago, someone telling another person... an idiom, that's what they're called, an idiom. And now this thing is kind of right in their face, coming back to haunt them. It was foolish to present something, but now I'm hearing conversations of something that could be happening to a Scorpio. I'm eavesdropping and listening in to this conversation. It's in my ear, right? About a relationship stopping. Oh, shit. Okay, this is weird, but I'm going to say it, Leo. If someone is gaining age, right? They're aging and they're talking with their beloveds as they age. This is sort of like having a conversation of literally saying, I'm going to transition soon, and I don't want to have this conversation with that person on the other side because I don't know how to explain what I've done. You know, if this person on the other side found out what I don't want to hear it, because it's sort of like someone saying, I don't want to hear what this person has to say on the other side about what happened, you know? And they're afraid. Somebody is afraid to go in there and share and speak their words. Someone thinks they don't have much to give. You know, there's a loss of value here where someone is sort of saying, you know, the value of whatever was being purchased or the value of whatever you were doing was not as important as the value of mine. Basically, 6, 7, lose 1. That gives us 8 in the whole. So now we see like a proper misfunction. Someone could have lost their job. I see you know, this is like trying to squeeze every last drop of blood out of a tree so that it can be healed. And another person isn't willing to do that. They weren't willing to fix it. Doubt. It's interesting. King of Pentacles. F yeah. Woohoo. In walks the King of Pentacles. Capricorn. Having a conversation with you, Leo. So you can expect a Capricorn coming in to have a conversation. This person is looking at how you feel about what's been done. There's forgiveness here, wanting to offer forgiveness, wanting to take someone by the hand. There's some father issues going on. Someone may be looking into how better to hang out with another person that's so different than me. And this conversation about what was stolen, what was taken, the same thing with the Page of Pentacles up here. Oh, for some of you, this is the discharging of a vehicle. This could also include a piece of equipment, furniture, yes, debt, the discharging of a debt. But also, for me, this is sort of like a gift of some sort that needs to be given away. And I guess relationship ties are tense over whatever. And there's a question about reciprocity and how much was given to help another person, because there's some stinginess here and some fear. Here's that soulmate soul contract person. Not being able to see something correctly. Unless they also had gone through the experience. All right, let me pull. I'm going to start with the Mystic Forest because it's the funnest one. Show me some cards for Leo. Yes, I did shuffle these off camera before I started up with you. Sat here and listened to some really great music while I did it. Show me some cards for, yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? I see the half face. Someone only showing one side of their face, or only knowing one side of their face, not knowing that there's a second face over there. And on the one side, they're giving one way, and then on the other, they're giving another. Told you this read was about performance. It says, where there is hope, don't believe the past defeats or disappointments. Don't believe that past defeats or disappointments will keep you from succeeding. True success grows from the lessons. A hopeful heart never gives up. Starlight. Don't slow down manifestation through hesitation or worry. Keep the faith and create light in the dark. The path of the stars is made by the same energy. I've got no pressure on the underside of the deck, right? When you want more, don't push yourself or others to get more. Give more of your pure, genuine self, and life will immediately and effortlessly match. Wild and wonderful. Why focus on limitations and realism? Breakthroughs and miracles require no linear explanation or method. Instant manifestation and one of a kind. I don't know what it is that I'm missing here. A bag or a purse seems to be really important. Like a bag or a purse. I don't know. Keep an eye on your belongings, people. Please keep an eye on your belongings. Show me what's going on here for Leo. Fulfilling a fantasy is here. Sexual protection is in the reverse. I have don't want to hear it is in the reverse. Putting on a show is in the reverse. See, I told you, person's nervous that it's real. So over here, and that's the quick way. Like if you just pulled all the way over here, this person thinks it's fake. But what happens when it's real? What do you do then? So that whole first part is somebody calling bullshit on the other person. It's a dare is what it is. It's a dare. I dare you to keep ignoring this. I double dare you. I triple dare you to keep ignoring this. Show me what's going on here. They're not putting on a show. This is like the real them. This is who they are. Red lipstick stains. That's awesome. That's what I'm saying. Someone was not faking it. Depression in the reverse. They're coming out. Doing drugs. Kicked to the curb. Oh man. Envy in the reverse. A fake apology in the reverse. So this person was being sincere. Getting played, manipulation, lies, and control. Bad choices. All right, this is how I'm seeing this. Because there's some sort of mind control as well. But they're doing it to themselves. That's number one. Number two, I have a large change between here and here. There's going to be a secret conversation with your person, Leo, by someone behind scenes. You're not even going to know, right? This is going to be a kind, very kind, forgiving self-love sort of conversation from another person. And there also may be, correct ethical rights put to right with this person. Because whoever is the one here who was, were they naive or were they ignorant or whatever was going on? They were using something to pull themselves up out of a depression. Do you know what I get? Look how many times someone's like 1, 2, 3. This person, I don't know if the person you're dealing with is in a depression, man. It's almost like someone is coming in, talking about getting played. The accusations that kind of went on is coming from a person who hasn't made a whole lot of good choices in life, but it doesn't mean it's not true. Because this person who has, I don't know if they learned from their choices or not, they're telling the truth here. They're pointing to the King of Pentacles, who is in the upright and under no pressure. The King of Pentacles in the upright is acting like there's no pressure to whatever they're doing. Meanwhile, the other person is like, nah, they're fake. They're putting on a show. It's not real. No, it's real, brah. It's real. It's not fake. And the person that is trying to present the issue, it feels to me like they're wanting peace. They want to get out of this. But there's something locking them into position where they cannot get out. So they're going to this other person to ask for help. And the other person's like, yeah, whatever. Nobody cares. And they're sort of trying to present, look, I didn't get a whole lot of cooperation from the people around me. I didn't even get a whole lot of cooperation from you. They feel kicked to the curb. They're not sure how to repair something. It's strange. It's like the person who is moody or with depression or something like that. They're the ones that's like, I don't know. I'm going to say it like this. If you have never lived with depression or a sickness like that, if you've never lived with a person who has CPTSD, someone who has MS, PSTD like I do, or like John's PTSD, someone who has manic depression, someone who has schizophrenia, if you've never lived with a person like that you loved and walked that hard road with them, if you've never been that person, you don't know how, like the first few times, you don't know how, you don't know what to do. Most people don't. If this person was in grief, they were grieving, and nobody's ever had a loss. So, it's ignorant. It's that sort of thing. And there's been a lot of brushing off. I swear to God, this person's like trying to explain what happened. They're trying to be open and vulnerable. And the other person is trying to put some sort of stability in their world. They've set some goals that they're trying to achieve. They're not awake or tapped in to the same thinking, or the magnet's off. One party is working on ancestral things, and the other party is about to me, it's like removing inner judgments that other people have put on them. I'm going to say this, they're being given a gift. One party is trying to achieve. They're not awake or aware of the ancestral attachments that are still there that need to be worked through. Maybe someone is trying to explain that to them, and then the other person is like, I'm in a divine feminine state and I'm about to receive a pretty nice gift, and it's bringing me inspiration, and I'm going to pick up and I'm going to fly away. I did this with somebody the other day. I was like, dude, if you don't like that choice or that choice, then we'll just make another choice. It was kind of like, all right. This person on the right, they've been on lockdown for a while. It's taken them a really long time to figure out their individualness. And there's been a big shift and a big change. I can see that. A road here, but it's all divine feminine, your person. This is a very long road that they've taken that has taught them that it's time to walk out of the shadows and into the light. They've accepted some sort of fact over here that judgments by how other people see them, they don't care. They don't care. They know that if they test something and it fails, and it tests something and then it fails, and they don't give up. This person finds the inspiration like day after day to get up and just keep doing it, you know. And there's going to come a gift from that person. And it's going to say, hey dude, look, we're a little fishy in a big world. Your little red pants, they're so cute. But please understand, this dude is a tiny kid at the bottom of the stairs. That's why I'm saying someone is in a world of ignorance, or they're not developed in a certain task or something here. These people are. So they still need mentorship. There's something here, because this is a little person right there. Hi, little person. Your person, Leo, is coming down the stairs in the red, having gone all the way up to the top. I tapped the flag, which is over here. I've tapped the flag, and now I'm heading back down. You see what I mean? So it's like we can't compare apples to oranges here, because it just doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. These are two people who are not appreciating each other in their own field, in their own uniqueness. It's a lack of appreciation for the roads that have been walked, and a lack of identification, like someone who has not been there, so I have not seen. You know, I wasn't there, so I didn't see it. Oh, okay. Doesn't mean it doesn't still exist. Yeah, it still exists, you know. Show me this, please. All right. This connection bores me to death. I need something more exciting. Wow. It's difficult for me to process my emotions. I am not available right now. I was afraid that you would reject me if I shared my feelings with you. I cannot be vulnerable with you. I rather hide in the darkness before I let you see inside of me. Wow. And this one says, I feel alone and in the dark. Where is my light? Well, bitch, you want both? What is wrong with you? It says, I smile on the outside, but I'm dying on the inside. Wow. And the other person is sort of saying, I'm afraid, you know, that your feelings for me are not mutual. I have many regrets that keep me from moving forward. I feel empty and hollow inside, and I can't open up right now. That's why I'm saying one party is like, they're very different people. I'm going to say that. These two people are very different people. One has the divine feminine aspect where, you know, things that are flowing to this person. And the other person is definitely a divine masculine, because this dude's like, watch me jump off this cliff. It's not right or wrong. That's the problem here. It's not right or wrong. It's two different Disney characters here. And neither, you know, one of them is not being seen. And that's bad, because a Leo's supposed to shine. That's like their whole job. Leos need to be brave, absolutely, but they also need to be seen. And they need to shine. It's kind of a big deal. This card says someone has been unsocial, or they are unsocial. This card says indecision, and it's locked this person up. I can see that. Not talking, that hasn't helped jack crap. Being a victim, this says addiction, but it came out in the reverse, you know? This is in the reverse. It says lust, not love. Now, that's what this person is trying to say. I love you. Changing them. There's no changing them. There's no changing them. And this one says getting crumbs, but it's in the reverse. They're not even getting crumbs. Wow. Criticizing in the reverse. And I don't think that's the case, Leo. I think someone wasn't criticizing. I don't think that someone was doing all of that. Not giving too much. Boundaries. Two boats capsizing. One boat has 4 people and the other boat has none. Just one, the one that's leaving. So 2 boats capsized. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because that's kind of a long reading. No, I'm not. Apparently an hour, 6 minutes is not enough for me to like untie this shoestring. I want to feel that way again. We both know I am not the one for you. I don't react when people say your name. I bury myself in work to forget you. I look for you everywhere. I know that I crossed a line with you. You were the best thing in my life. I will wait for a sign from you. It's time for me to heal now. And I couldn't let you get close to me. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I understand you better now. That's what the other person is saying. I understand you better now. It says, in that moment, no, I didn't care. And yes, it is too late. I need to focus on my healing. Thank you for leaving me. I am not coming back. You didn't imagine it. And you did not break me. I am happy that it's over. And then we are more alike than I admit. Yeah, when these cards here, I don't think the person's happy when they're saying it. Because I think whoever shut the door, they shut it hard. You know, they're happy that this person's out of the way. They're like, no, no, please, take the puppy, take the dog, you know. And the other person is still mulling over it. But, you know, grief takes time, loss takes time. And I'm not going to take that from anyone. I have excuses. Losing yourself, expectations, ambivalent. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop right there, Leo. Please have a beautiful week. I will see y'all later. Let me get out of here because I can hear the puppy. He leaves tomorrow. Go away to school. I love you guys. Bye.